Alright, cool. Let's look at this replay. Confirm that Capcom Marvel are equal. So let's see an SF movie on... Oh, yeah, dude. If they actually put any amount of production value into a Street Fighter movie, you know I'm there.
Round 1. Fight.
Beep, boop, beep. Alright. That sucks. So this is something that a lot of players do, and I'm really not talking down on it at all. But there are a lot of players who kind of take a rock paper scissors position right at the start of the round. You see how both players did this, and this is supposedly the first game of the set, so neither player like had a read on each other yet. But like this is like the same as Guile throwing a Sonic Boom right at the start of the damn round. Like, I understand the novelty, or not, like, I understand, like, the usefulness of, like, dashing and getting in your opponent's face right at the start of the round, but honestly, you're, like, dashes in general do leave you exposed to being hit, right? But when you do it at the start of the round, you're doing that dash at a fixed point in time that both players are very aware of, right? It's like when you fight a Bison player. There are a lot of lower league Bisons that will dash right at the start of the round because Bison will end up in throw range right at the start of the round after their forward dash, right? I would say that if you dashed at any point after right at the start of the round, this unfortunate situation could not have happened. Unless you were even far less lucky than what happened right here. Because this was just rock, paper, scissors. But if you had done it at any, like, immediately after the start of the round, it would have been a much more complicated situation than rock, paper, scissors. But anyways, that's unfortunate that you gotta start with that deficit. That's a crouching strong opportunity right there. And I'm assuming that I need to tell you this, but honestly, this could be very obvious information to you already. One of Mika's main goals, if you're going against an opponent, and this is going to be really true in the lower leagues, if you're going against an opponent that is really eager to jump against a grappler like Mika, you landing crouching strong right here is like the best thing that could possibly happen to you. When Mika anti-airs with crouch strong, the opponent lands pretty much right in front of her at during most timings and spacings. So you get to start your mix-up game based off of their bad decision to jump, right? In the lower leagues, this is an opportunity that they're going to give you over and over and over, especially now in Season 3, because Mika's Crouch Fierce got super duper buffed, and it anti-airs at almost any space now. Yeah, Blanca trailer's out. No, the Blanca trailer was really cool to watch. What will be the best move at the start of the round, each round for Guile? What I'm trying to say is that when you make any decision right at the start of the round, frame 1, 99 seconds, you're exposing yourself to what am I trying to say? Like, when someone fights a Guile player right at the start of the round, sometimes they straight up just hold up forward because they're playing rock, paper, scissors right at the start of the round. Because Guile players are in the habit of throwing a boom right at the start of the round. So it's not so much what's the best move, it's don't make a committed decision right at the start of the round. Because it's like a mix-up. It's a mix-up without the two players actually being close to each other. It's a fixed point in time. That's all I'm trying to say. It's not about like what move's the best move. I just think you shouldn't make committed decisions 99 seconds frame 1 because you don't know what they're up to yet. You have no information yet. That's all I'm trying to say. What's up, Apple Juice? Welcome back, dude. Alrighty. So boom, crouch strong right there. You would start your mix-up game like crazy. There's another one for you. And I'm pretty sure crouch strong could anti-air then too. So you're getting crossed up as all hell right now. So I know you probably already know you should be blocking the other way. But also just know that this is like when a Ryu player isn't like super duper confident in their ground game, which is common since Ryu's kind of a struggly character, right? Number one thing they love to do is to set up these cross-up jumps, just right out of the neutral. On your wake up, there's not a ton you can do because you're waking up and he can time his cross up however he wants. But in the neutral, your crouching strong is also going to anti-air that just fine. So if you're waking up, you need to block it out and kind of deal with the jump in mix up. But in the neutral, you can start your mix ups off of that. So like right here. I mean, this is a different point, but it's like your jump in worked out, so boom, you get a mix-up right now, and he immediately contested, right? That's how afraid he is of your mix-up game. Very nice. What's this turn into? Oh my god, we're in there. We're so in there. Destroyed. Awesome. Alright, cool. I don't have to worry about explaining combos to you. Because you obviously have your Mika bread and butters down. Yeah, that was really nice. That was a really nice round towards the end. Honestly, though, with the anti-air opportunities that occurred earlier, you would have those combo opportunities multiple times around. You know, you see how well you did given one opportunity to start your mix-up game. You had like 2 previous opportunities to get that started without almost being dead, right? What's up, Mork the Orc? Yeah, putting yourself in the corner is definitely a risk, but you can be calculated with it. There's definitely ways to be calculated with it, it's like if you go for a cross, if your opponent's in the corner and you're going for a cross up, you better be sure that they're not ready to block that, right? I like to go I like to not go for the cross up because keeping your opponent in the corner for me is just so much more valuable. All right, we got him in the corner. What do we got? This is going very nice. How does he make this comeback? Don't you lose? Isn't this a match that you lose? You're like bodying the shit out of him right now. Oh, I forgot he won the first round. Alright, nice. But yeah, so right now, like, Xanies, like, your jump-ins are working out. That's something that's very common in the lower leagues, is that your jump-ins just tend to catch people off guard, tend to start pressure situations. As you get into the higher leagues, though, your opponents are going to be anti-airing more consistently. But what I will say is, instead of focusing on jumping to get in, just know that a lot of lower league players are more eager to jump on you. And your anti-air strong is what's going to create those mix-up opportunities more consistently than you jumping on them. Making your decisions based on what your opponent wants gives you a lot more control in the matchup. So, like, you're jumping at him, and look, it's working out. Your jump-ins are working out. I'm not going to slam you for doing it at all. But when we're thinking long-term, what you're going to be doing in the future, like, you know, future fights and everything, just know that in the lower leagues, your opponent doesn't need to be heavily incentivized to jump on you. They want to. They want to jump on you. Just like there. What happened here? What kind of jump-in was this? Yeah, that's something that you could have anti-aired and started, you know, your whole mix-up shenanigans off of. A lot of the time when I get bodied by Mika, it's because I gave up on the ground game and went for a wonky jump on him. That's another one right there. That one's tricky though, because he jumped while you jumped. So this is definitely, it's like maybe you would have had time. But I understand if you second guess yourself on that one, because I second guess myself with that all the time with Guile. That was a crouch strong opportunity. So honestly, in terms of how we're handling the neutral, you're just like a hair away from destroying this guy. Because every mix-up opportunity, look, you're doing it again. Every mix-up opportunity you get, you're hit confirming, your pressure game's working out. Like, he's totally worried every time you get mix-up opportunities. You would have gotten like 4 mix-up opportunities that game off of anti-airs alone. Yeah, Xanies, you struggle against people that consistently anti-air? That's normal. That's normal, because jumping is not like the core of Street Fighter. It's, you know, Mika being Mika does have to rely on jumps more than other characters do. Because, you know, Mika less range on our normals. Frame data is not the most amazing thing, right? But what am I trying to say? So that incentivizes you to jump a bit more. It incentivizes you to use more of your mobility to get in. Oh, did I scroll down too much? But it's totally normal to struggle against people who anti-air because that's they're incentivizing you to stop jumping and play ground game. I want you to do the same to your opponent. There are, like, if you stay on the ground and block a lot, they're gonna feel uncomfortable. They're the ones who are gonna start jumping until you get into higher leagues. Then you're gonna have to play a more nuanced game. What's up, Mysterious? Welcome back, dude.
Round 1. Fight.
Like, boom. That's a crowd strong opportunity, and remember, every time you get that crowd strong, it could be the end of the round for this guy. Because you've consistently showed that. Every mix-up you get is almost the end of the round on this guy. Your hit confirms off of the target combo are really on point, by the way. I really love how you're buffering this, and you're kind of, like, making sure that you're getting the hit before you actually commit. By the way, Cyrax TV, thank you for the follow, dude. That was a while ago that I missed that notification. What I'm looking up right now is what that target combo is on block. I think it's only a little bit negative. -5. Okay, so this target combo in the lower leagues is totally fine to do as, like, you know, oh, am I hit confirming? It is negative, though, so just be wary that if you do it a lot, people are going to start punishing you for it. But -5 isn't the worst thing, especially if, there we go. All right, mess him up. Very nice. I'll explain an alternative to the target combo in just a sec. But the way you're using it right now is super good for like the lower leagues. Like, you're doing just fine. There's another anti-air. This is working out. What do you got? You very commonly go straight into Lady Mika, which is totally great. It is a rock, paper, scissors situation. I would just say at some point, because he's blocking the Lady Mika kind of consistently now, to be thinking about going for that throw. Even though there's no throw loops, and even though I think being in range for Brimstone would be a little tricky. Very nice. You're doing, see, you were really negative right there, so you can't keep pressing buttons after he blocks that. Blah! Yeah, that's why you got counter hit right there. So these back-to-back jumps, and I know you were saying in the chat that this is where you get super tilted. That's totally fine. It's still good for me to just point out, you know, what this means, right? Like, honestly, you know, you're feeling super tilted, but the way you're handling the neutral, like I said, you're like a baby step away from destroying this dude. You just got to be doing less. Yeah, EazyE, we could totally do that, dude.
Round 2.
That would totally be fine. Boom, 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 boom. Getting in there. Yeah, you're playing very, very different, which is what you said you did. So this is like the way you're playing right now is how I tell people who like just got the game, where I'm like, dude, just get in and hit buttons, dude, until you figure out what does what. So there's totally nothing wrong with this. Beep boop beep. All right, does he just seal the round from here? Oh, you almost got that cancel into Nadeshka. All right, slowing down. Kill. And oh, we're still alive. We're in there. Nice. All right, maybe it doesn't end this round. DP? Oh, you got that. Okay. So most of the information. So no need to talk. I mean, you're like Grandmaster, dude. What do you? Oh, no need for talk. You're not the. Oh god, I thought you were no need to talk. I was like, what the hell am I gonna say to you? You're Grandmaster. That's hella funny. Alright, we're gonna go into training mode for just a sec. so I can iterate my point on how I'm gonna advise Xanies. Alright, so Xanies. Number one deal, if you had anti-aired consistently, that guy would have stood no chance against you. Like 4 straight rounds, absolutely bodied, if you had anti-aired consistently. So we're gonna glaze over that, because I am telling you that that's no need for talk. Yeah, exactly, dude. That's why I got you mixed up. But yeah, dude, I'll absolutely watch your replay. Absolutely, dude. Alright. What was I going to say? So I wanted to give you an alternative to the target combo. Because the target combo is -5 on block. So if your opponent's really on top of their shit, they're going to be punishing you guaranteed, right? An amazing alternative to doing this as your hit confirm, because, you know, you get to see them block or you get to see it hit. That's really nice after drop kick, because that's your main option to counter hit their challenges after block, and that's totally fine. But you're using it in other situations, like you know, if you anti your opponent and they land in front of you, you're using that as well. Totally cool for now. Later on, people are gonna really destroy you for that. So what I want you to focus on is just using Stand Medium Punch as your hit confirm visual checker as to whether or not they actually got hit. So what we're gonna set them to random guard. So sometimes they're gonna block, sometimes they're gonna get hit. Now, in a normal, this is very in a vacuum in the lab, right? In a normal situation, like during normal footsies, it's actually far more likely that they'll block than get hit. But that actually helps us react, because we expect the block, but when they hit, we go, oh shit, something different happened. And then we get to hit confirm. So this is why Stand Medium Punch is godlike. On block, you're totally good. I think it's like -2 or something, but you're like totally good. Not punishable on block. On hit though, on reaction, you can EX Peach. Oh, that was whip. And you get your best possible knockdown, right? And you're not canceling the Stand Medium Punch into it. Like, normally when you do like a target combo, you would normally like cancel the strong into the Peach, because you're able to react to the lights hitting him. But on this, you don't have to cancel it. So it's not like a super hard reaction to cancel it into a special move. You can react and do the Peach after the Stand Strong finishes recovery. And that will combo together and give you a really nice knockdown opportunity. This is what all the good Mikas are up to. And this is what I wish Zangief had in this game. Because what this is like the equivalent of Stand Short Green Hand back in Street Fighter 4. So on block, you see on block, I can react. And I'm just buffering the quarter circle, but I'm not finishing it off. But once that hits, I'm all over it, right? Yeah, Xanies, it's Ultima. I bet you do, you butthole. I bet Rashid has some sort of equivalent to this. Let the grapplers have what they have. What's up, Sam? Welcome back, dude. But yeah, Xanies, this is the shit. On block, you're totally good. On hit, you just hit that EX Green Hand, Kappa, and then you have a really good knockdown situation after. So instead of, you know, the target combo is super good for now, because being -5 doesn't mean that much in the lower ranks, and it's always going to be good after dropkick. It's always going to be good after dropkick, because you can't, like, counter hit what... I mean, can you counter hit 3-framers with Standing Medium Punch after dropkick? I don't know. But, when you're just like, here, let's get him to jump. When you're just anti-airing fools and tagging them as they hit the ground, I gotta hit him a little earlier, I guess. Boom. You don't want to really be doing the target combo. You want to be doing this godlike stuff. And when you get really savvy with it, you could do cooler stuff too. Like, Fierce into Super. Like, Standing Medium Punch is just godlike. That's all I'm trying to say, alright? If you can ask one question, I frequently only activate trigger off of Crouch Fierce if it blocks or hits. Is there a better way to activate? So here's the deal with Mika. There are 10 billion ways to activate it. Crouching Fierce into Nadeshiko is, even at the highest level, very common, right? But you've got low medium into Nadeshiko, because, I think, yeah, like that, right? So... let me take him off random block, right? You got so many options. Like, I'm not a Mika main, right? So I'm kind of improvising, but like, there's a million ways to hit him from Nadeshiko. What's up, Brass Babe? Welcome. How's class going? You have such a hard time versus Nash. I need replay analysis. Absolutely, dude. All right, so that's it for Xanies. That's a lot of information I threw at you. So hopefully that helps you out. And then this will be on YouTube. Yeah, I get it. No need for talk. Oh no, Sam made the same mix-up. Yeah, Sam, it's another dude. No need for talk's a separate homie. All right, EazyE. Oh, Ultra Platinum, nice. Okay, boom. We just talked about this. And this is just my opinion. If this is how you like to do it, keep doing it. I would say don't make committed decisions immediately at the start of the round. And it's so funny because the last replay we looked at, the exact same thing happened. Someone dashed and someone else made a committed move with the forward fierce. This time it's a dash and a jump. You know why the Laura's jumping? Because she is praying that you're one of those guys that throws a boom right at the start of the round, right? That is what I'm talking about. If you just threw a boom slightly after the start of the round, you can react to this type of jump because all she wants is an easy lead on you, right? You can anti-air, start with the life lead, return to neutral, and be advantaged in the match, right? Dashing forward is a similar risk because look, yeah, boom. Boom. So be a little careful with your bazooka knees. That was a little deep. This is definitely deep. That's at least -3. Or no, at most -3, but definitely negative. There's your crouch fierce opportunity. Don't have to deal with this mix up. Very nice check on the dash. Very nice check on the... Here, let me put on inputs to make sure you ain't mashing. Yeah, very nice. Oh, wait. Yeah, no, you're doing fine. You're not mashing. So this, it's a little trickier of an anti-air opportunity, but neutral medium kick. Neutral. Oh, right. This is like a new character for you, right? You like just started Guile. So you got to platinum with a different character. Well, that's cool, dude. I'm glad you're starting Guile, man. Still getting the hang of charges and decision making. Absolutely, dude. Yeah, especially when players just sit, right? That can be really, really tricky to wrap your mind around. But just know, if they're sitting, guess who sits better? Guile. Guile sits better than anyone else, man. Wait, no need for talk. Were you Size Matters from the other day? Because we had another dude called Size Matters. Did you change your name in like the last couple hours? Oh, Birdie main. Cool, dude. Yeah, Guile is a great secondary for Birdie. Absolutely. That sounds like a super good secondary for a Birdie player. So yeah, so now that I know that you're new to Guile, I'm going to give you all the tips. Because when I saw Platinum, I was like filtering out what you already know. But now I'm just going to pretend you don't know anything. No offense. Neutral medium kick. The donkey kick. Stick in neutral, medium kick. Anti-air is this. Super clean. This is the space that Crouch Fierce is not going to do much for you. It's a space that Crouching Jab would have done well, but they nerfed it, which is a good thing. Neutral, medium kick, you will anti-air that type of jump in every time. Boop, neutral, medium kick. It's all good. So, I think you know that sweeps are unsafe on block. So all this mix-up shenanigans. So I'm assuming that was a flash kick. Do you play on pad or stick, by the way? Just curious. Boom. You tried to EX flash kick. So here's the rundown of the flash kicks. Light kick, flash kick is your flexible flash kick. Fully invincible on the 3rd frame, right? Anti-airs very well, interrupts very well, not fully invincible, right? Medium kick, flash kick, frame 1 airborne opponent invincibility, right? Not projectile invincibility, airborne opponents. So medium kick will anti-air just as effectively as EX flash kick, right? Roundhouse flash kick, full on frame 1 throw and projectile, more importantly projectile, invulnerable. Frames 1 through 9, projectile and throw invincible, right? So if you're going against an Akuma who's doing a lot of air fireballs, roundhouse flash kick is what's going to deal with that. Medium kick, flash kick will only anti-air jump-ins. It will not anti-air air fireballs. It will not anti-air Ibuki's kunai. It is because those are projectiles, and the kunai is not even a projectile. The kunai is a straight-up hit, but it's not an airborne opponent, right? So medium kick has trouble against that. But that's the rundown. And then EX, frame 1, fully invincible. That's the obvious Gucci one. You're handling the lower mix-ups really well, by the way. Okay, so this, obviously it's tricky to respond to, because, you know, Laura's like to be hella random with this one, so it's kind of hard to be ready for it. If you are super on point with knowing when she's going to do this, like if you get a knockdown and you V-skill and the Sonic Cross is traveling, and Laura's just love to EX command grab right through that, stand fierce, low strong flash kick is a really good punish. Neutral jumping it works really well, but far away, I just at least get the sweep. But you getting crouch fierce is totally cool. The weird thing about landing crouch fierce is that nobody presses a button after they get hit by it. I don't know what it is, but my throw success, like, because sometimes I'll try to punish with a stand fierce and I'll get a crouch fierce on accident. For whatever reason, I'll just throw immediately after this because you can't hit confirm off of it. So I'll just throw afterwards. I've never been teched after that. I'm just saying. See, look, no buttons. No buttons from the Laura, right? When you accidentally land crouch fierce, just throw them. I don't know why it works. Oh, you had a character crisis for almost 5 months? Well, it looks like you settled on Guile. 5th day using Guile. Nice, dude, nice. Oh, and as a birdie main, crouch fierce is one of your main punishes, right? Pretty sure that's why. Alright. Moving on. Moving on. Boom! Crouch fierce, anti-aired because they did a jump-in attack. They extended themselves into the crouch fierce. It's really, like, this jump-in is probably, like, the hardest jump-in to anti-air. It's a little close for neutral medium kick. It's really nice for crouch fierce if they press the button, but crouch fierce could have whiffed right there, maybe? I don't know. You did just fine. I think your choice for crouch fierce was really nice. Try to get sweep for sweep. Guile, when you block a sweep with Guile, it's really space dependent on what you can actually do afterwards. If you have trigger, I would say throw a fierce boom, because it'll hit, and then trigger, fierce boom, trigger, dash up, finish your combo. If you don't have any meter though, roundhouse flash kick or sweep are really nice. I tend to just sweep. Boom. Good anti-airs. Good anti-airs all around right now. That shit is so annoying. I hate when that happens. Very nice. Very nice. You ain't dead yet. You're doing quite well for having just picked up the character. Because most of the time when people switch to Guile, the culture shock is they're like, holy shit, anti-airing's hard. So this is a neutral medium kick. Boom. Neutral medium kick would anti-air that just fine. That's the space where they hoped that you threw a boom so that they could get that hit on you. That far away jump is when they hope you throw a boom. Because the space that she jumped, she should have been a little closer, just a little closer. But that's the space where they're like, okay, I'm going to start walking at you, and you may or may not throw a boom, and I'm going to bet you're going to. So neutral medium kick's super good right there. This is a weird cross-up situation right here. I guess it wouldn't have been a cross-up if you weren't so-botting right there, but just know that dealing with cross-ups is really tough as Guile. I like to, if you react to a cross-up jump-in in a similar way that you react to like normal jump-ins that you plan on anti-airing, just like bazooka knee, and you'll just go right under cross-up jumps, and you just go back to neutral, and it's super satisfying. Boom! Good anti-airs. What did you try to do right there? And jab. So, Laura's a 3-framer, right? I always forget the little details like that. Let's look at Laura for a sec. I'm looking on my frame data app. Where's she at? There she is. Yeah, she's just stand light punch is 3-framer. So if you're going for stand light punch as a meaty on your opponent, you want to be doing stand light punch and then into stand medium punch, because that'll frame trap 3-framers. What I like to do also is stand medium punch into stand jab can also counter hit 3-framers. But my favorite thing to do on a 3-frame character is the meaty jab into stand medium punch. Yeah, EazyE. Laura's will do that. Laura's will wake up with jab all the time, because when Laura successfully lands wake up jab, the reward that they get is far more than a lot of characters because they get the good knockdown situation. So honestly, just expect it. Get really on point with your meaty timings, and you're going to counter hit them all day. You're going to counter hit them all day. So yeah, it's nice that sometimes you're in range for crouch strong, but you see how you were still too far away to land the boom? It's because the crouch strong, see how crouch strong pushes her really far away? This is why going for the raw fierce boom can hit a lot of the time. But you didn't have trigger, so I would have just gone for the sweep. It's all good though. Or crouch strong directly into super, but at that point you should just go straight into super maybe. Good V reversal. So, this is just a Laura thing. This isn't a Guile specific thing. But when Laura lays down a lightning right here, you gotta sweep it. If you have down charge, roundhouse flash kick is godlike at it. But just sweep it. Because she get, oh my gosh, she's so advantaged in the neutral if you don't deal with that. Good block. With back charge, crouching strong, I think is a good response to the overhead. I'm gonna look up the frames on that again. She tends to surprise me with it, so I go for jab jab all the time. But I'm looking up her overhead right now. What's that called? What's that move even called? Sunset? No, that's not Sunset Wheel. It's her V skill, it's her Volt line. So it's -7, so you can actually use... Guile can just straight up stand fierce it on block if it's close. But yeah, at least crouching medium punch. Oh no, stand fierce is 8 frames. So you want to be using crouching medium punch when you block her overhead wheel. So, something that's so useful in this matchup. When you're getting chewed up by Laura, if you have down charge and you think she's going to cancel into lightning, you can preemptively roundhouse flash kick. Like right there, boom. That's not a true block string, so you can roundhouse flash kick. And so you V-reversaled and got thrown for your trouble, right? You want to be V-reversaling on the move before it. So V-reversaling off of her crouching medium punch is really common. What's up, Emperor Genocide? Nice. Boom, boom. You obviously know a lot of the frame data already, which is nice to see. So instead of short, let's go crouching short jab. So you empty load, right? Crouching short into crouching jab goes right into flash kick or boom. If you manage your charge appropriately, you can cross up empty low and actually... Well, no, you can't go empty with it. But if you do like cross up short and then crouching short, crouching jab, if you manage your charge right, you can get a boom off of it. But either way, empty jump low can go into a flash kick. Empty jump low short, crouching jab, flash kick. But that's just combo stuff. I know that was a V reversal, because that happens to me all the time. I like that you V reversaled on the medium, because that's when you're commonly having to deal with the lightning. Nice, nice, nice. Very nice, very nice.
Final round. Fight.
Boop. Very nice. I like that you didn't commit to anything. So, I mean, isn't that just the worst? Ugh. You totally baited the jump for like a day and a half. Look at this. This is like no-fly zone city. And then the second you threw that boom, she's in the air. Isn't that just the worst? Isn't that just the... You know what also is the worst? Her frickin' boob model right here. What's going on there? She really let herself go. Anyways. There's nothing that I can tell you that makes that happen less often. All I can tell you is that the more that you bait the jump out, the more likely that they're going to jump because the more that you bait the jump, the more logic that you can wrap around eventually throwing a boom. Isn't that just the worst? I would say that rather, when you bait jump like crazy, like this, where you're just like, jump, please, jump, like, instead of defaulting to the boom, because the next logical step is to boom, I would say like a Sobot or walk forward instead, because here's something godlike that Daigo does. This is something that Daigo does that is so awesome. He'll fake the boom, and he'll try to get you to jump, so he'll back up, and he'll back up. He'll try to get you to jump, but instead of adapting into a boom, he'll adapt into walking forward, because it does a lot of different things for him, and it's super low commitment. What that fake into walking forward does for you is either, if they stay on the ground, you begin to play footsies. You can go for a Sobot, or you can go for like a crouching medium kick or something. Like, contest him in a way other than throwing the boom. But if they do jump, you are fully available to anti-air it in various ways. And Daigo's so good at it that he gets an air throw almost every time. It's really nice. So like, instead of like, and this is also advice, like, because here, this is, when you want him to jump and you're faking the boom, you're giving up ground, right? And that's the cost of it. I'm not saying don't do that. But another way to fake the boom is to walk forward. Because if you have that back charge and you transition from crouching down backing to walking forward, Guile stands up. And the animation of Guile standing up is the visual cue that some players use to react to a boom. Because the animation of throwing a boom forces Guile to stand, right? So doing, like, faking into walk forward allows, if they jump, you can be so ready to air throw or crouch fierce or whatever. And if they stay on the ground, you are available to just pressure them with normals. So I would say what can make that, so rough to see. What can make this happen less often is faking a boom by walking forward out of the crouching animation. Yeah, Daigo sweeps as an anti-air. It's insane, and I don't recommend it. Daigo's the only one who can pull that one off. I feel like anyone else would just get totally destroyed for doing that, because the timing on it is frickin' precise, man. Anyways, moving on. I just had to get a little long-winded with that, because that is such a heartbreaking situation as a Guile player. Anyways, we know that that low strong should have gone into a flash kick. We know that. So, shy away from the twitchy sweeps. A twitchy sweep like this is totally fine if you have the trigger to make it safe. Totally fine. But outside of that, you are inviting the end times, because a Laura player who would be a little more on top of her shit would have hit you with a medium kick and canceled that into like a command dash. And if Laura hits you and cancels into command dash, she has a true mix-up on you. Yeah, we can't give up on the neutral. Even though Laura has a fireball, it's still a fireball that's almost impossible to jump onto. So jumping is, you're just inviting problems. It sucks though, right? Like, it's hard. It's hard to stay grounded against this character, right? Since she's so spooky. But Guile accomplishes more on the ground unless you're against a character that has legitimate fireballs. Dude. I don't have to tell you, you know, how risky that was, but it was very nice that it hit. Yeah, afraid of staying in the corner, dude. I get it, man.
Laura wins.
I get it, but you can play a very similar neutral game in the corner as you do mid-screen. It's just that your opponent gets to decide your relative spacing, so it's definitely tricky, but you can do it. Especially with the boom. The boom can really do a lot for you when you're stuck in the corner. Alright, let's find this Lara. Alright, second replay. I'm going to try to pause a little less, since I've already kind of divulged a lot of the information that I think's super relevant. So I'm not going to be calling out every anti-air. I'm not going to get super long-winded with the things that I've already gotten long-winded about. I like that you're not committing. Don't commit at the start of the round. You already know that you shouldn't have jumped right there. Totally cool. Alright, so this is This is another opportunity for me to get a little long-winded here. Let's take a sip. So fighting from the corner super duper sucks. But what you can do is you can actually play a really boom-heavy play style when you're stuck in the corner. When you're stuck in the corner, because you don't get to pick your relative space, it's really tricky to use your normals at the optimal space that those normals are supposed to be used for, right? Because your opponent gets to decide your relative spacing. If you play a boom-heavy play style because you're in the corner, you are heavily incentivizing your opponent to incorporate jumps, right? So if you're using your booms, obviously there are risks involved. You may just get dunked, right? That's the risk of throwing booms, right? But what can also happen is that you heavily incentivize your opponent to start jumping on you. And your opponent jumping on you while you're in the corner is your ticket out of the corner. If they set up a cross-up, like if she jumps from like here, you can bazooka knee out of the corner while she's in the air. Just react to it like you would a flash kick. Just don't put the joystick all the way to up back. Just put the joystick to back, press short, and you're out of the corner really nicely, right? If she's jumping at you on top of your head, you do get a crouch fierce, you do get a mix-up afterwards, so she can give you the opportunities to get out of the corner if you start playing a boom-heavy playstyle. Because if you start booming a lot, not like back-to-back so much, but blocking a lot and primarily focusing on boom, you're going to get her to start jumping more, or you're going to take that advantage in the mid-range. Mid-screen, you can do the exact same thing, but being mid-screen is a little less dire of a situation, so you don't have to play high risk like that. Yeah. Flash kick, you know, it happens, dude. I'm not going to beat you up over this. Don't beat yourself up over it either. It's super scary being in the corner. But I just wanted to get that little... So that should have been jab, jab, boom, or flash kick. But that's all good. We know that. Alright, now that we have our opponent in the corner, the number one goal here... You have two goals, right? My number one goal is different from other people's number one goal. You can completely eliminate all of Laura's options if you back up a little, get her to block a boom, and have enough space in between you guys to where you already have your back charge by the time she blocks the boom. Because if you throw a boom while your opponent's still in block stun from the previous boom, because when they block a boom, the boom disappears and then they're in block stun. If they're still in block stun when you throw your next boom, there's not a single thing that most of the cast can do to you. Characters like Birdie, which you're familiar with, can super right through a following boom. A character like Laura has no option. If she EX command grabs, it will whiff. If she jumps, you will have flash kick charge in time. It's like that dire of a situation. So what I would do right now, I would throw a boom at her, back up. See, you already backed up. That's great. Okay, yeah, she expected the boom, right? That's what you have to be worried about. But what I'm saying is, like, when you get your opponent in the corner, you can try to get that lockdown going. But Laura was so afraid of that happening that she shouldered you the second that you got to that optimal space to throw a boom. That's what you gotta... That's the mix-up right there, right? What's up, HBK? Welcome back, dude. Yeah, a random EX boom can also get you out. Yeah, EX boom is so good for that, right? So this is what I'm talking about. We made a committed decision right at the start of the round. Why does this happen so commonly? Because the very, very start of the round is a fixed point in time. And that's a definition that I've sort of come up with over time. My definition of a fixed point in time is a moment in time where information is displayed to both players at the same time. It's a point in time where both players are very aware of the options at hand. The start of the round is like a mix-up in that situation. It's common for Giles to boom right at the start, which makes it common for people to hold up forward right at the start. The risk-reward is she's either going to get hit by one anti-air, or you're going to get hit by a full jumping combo into a mix-up, right? The risk-reward's in her favor. Don't commit at the start of the round. That's all I'm trying to say. And I'll be talking more about fixed points in time, you know, over time. It's a big concept, right? So the more you tune in, the more examples I'm going to be able to give, you for what I mean by that. Boom! So this is an unfortunate situation, it totally looked like that flash kick was going to work, right? If you had flash kicked later, it would have potential to autocorrect. When you're getting crossed up, I shy away from flash kicking. I tend to bazooka knee under, I tend to jump back air throw, or whatever, right? I tend to try to avoid the situation. But if you find yourself in this situation, if you flash kicked later than this, because you're already flash kicking right now, it has potential to autocorrect. And its autocorrect potential is better in Street Fighter V than it ever has been since Street Fighter 2. Yeah, you wanted the damage quickly. Just, it's just a good tip in general to never worry about damage. Damage is a side effect of you making good decisions in the situation that you are in. Damage is a side effect of solid play and good decisions. The only time you really have to worry about how much damage you're doing is if a potential combo can kill your opponent. And if you're deciding between a combo that does more damage with no mix-ups afterwards or less damage with mix-ups afterwards. That's the only time you have to worry about damage. Alright, dude. I feel like I threw a lot of info at you. I know you're new to Guile, and I'm happy that you're picking up the character. Totally tune in for a future stream to get more replays done. I think you're doing just fine for only having played the character for a while. So once again, this will go on YouTube. YouTube.com/thebrassman. That's where all this is. Because it's really the way you learn from videos like this is you take in some information, you try to implement it, come back to the video, and new things will resonate with you that didn't resonate. Recording going. We're hopping in. I have a lot to say about the Ibuki matchup. So I'm happy that this is the matchup we're looking at. Hey, Gold Bomb, thanks for the follow, dude. Much appreciated. Hey, Dave Jones, welcome back, man. We're doing replays, and we somehow got 30 people to listen to me blabble. So we're doing pretty great so far.
Round one.
All right.
Fight.
Boom. Did we commit? No. This is godlike. So size matters. You could have done the exact same thing. You could have played the exact same risk reward if you just crouch blocked. You're giving up a lot of space right now, and that's totally okay. I'm not dinging you for it, but I'm just letting you know that the ground that you gain on your opponent is pretty much the #1 important aspect of Street Fighter. So if you back up like this for no reason, you're just giving your opponent an advantage. It's a small one, but you're giving it to your opponent. Don't give up ground for free. This is why Guile is a very down back crouching block type of character. It gives you your special moves to be charging, and you're also not giving up ground on your opponent. You do have to walk back in general because you want to, like, Street Fighter is about being at the spacing that you want to be at, and of course all the time we have to walk back. But like at the start of the round, you don't got to be giving up ground like that. Oh, let me put inputs on. Here we go. So yeah, you tried to throw a boom. That's all good. Are you playing on pad, by the way? No need for talk? Yeah, you were size matters. All right, dude. That's good to know. You were hella chill the other day, so I'm glad you're sticking around. All right, so we got crossed up on. So we got to be blocking the other way. I know it can be ambiguous, but we can't anti-air that situation, so we just got to block that a bit better. So let's avoid sweeping in the neutral until we're really, really good at it. The reason that I sweep in the neutral is when they whiff a move that has a lot of recovery frames so that I can tag it with the sweep. That way I know the sweep's going to hit rather than it being kind of a guess. Because on block, well, all the Ibuki did was sweep, but she could have done, you know, target combo into kunai into, you know, all this stuff, right? So let's avoid sweeping in the neutral. If you do sweep in the neutral, make sure you have V-trigger, because you can cancel your sweep into V-trigger on block and be totally fine. Alright, what happened there? So sweep. This is the common thing that happens, is that people will neutral jump on your wake up to bait out your throw tech, right? She jumped a little before you actually woke up, so more experienced players would be able to see that she's in the air before committing to this throw, but it's totally fine, and it's very common, and it absolutely happens at the highest level. The risk that Ibuki is committing to right now is that you don't do anything and you have flash kick charge by the time she lands on you, right? So normally we want to be flash kicking those. But it's totally fine that you did a neutral throw because she's right next to you, right? She's faking that she's throwing you. Yeah, you are playing on pad? Yeah, no worries, dude. I would definitely say, so there's multiple professional players who play Guile on pad and who play other charge characters on pad. Me personally, I do play pad. I'm very proficient with Zangief on pad, but I can't play charge characters on pad to save my life. It's just not how I can do it. But I've competed with pad in the past before. I'm just letting you know that if you super duper like have trouble with Guile in general, but you're doing well with other characters, consider getting a stick, because charge characters, in my opinion, are easier to play on stick. Alright, let's see what's happening here. So, she's faking the throw again, you teched again, and because she has an airborne overhead, it's throw invincible. So I would just say at this point, what I'm seeing is a pattern of you always teching a throw when she gets near you. And we'll talk more about that later. So this is another risk of sweeping in. Okay, so here we go. I'm giving you like back-to-back things that could have gone better. I don't want you to be hard on yourself right now. I just want this to be information that's coming at you, right? I'm not saying, oh, why'd you do this? That's so bad. Oh, why'd you do this? That's such a terrible decision. I'm not saying that. Because every decision that we make in Street Fighter is the right choice in certain situations, right? So I'm never going to speak in absolutes where I'm like, that's bad. Why would you do that? I'm just letting you know what the risk reward is in all the different situations that I can. Just can't deal with cross-ups. It's hard with Guile, dude, but you'll get better at it. There's a lot of different ways Guile can deal with it. Alright, so we got hit confirmed right here. This sweep in the neutral, this is what happens when you sweep in the neutral. Sometimes it'll hit. Of course it'll hit sometimes. But they'll either block it, and you'll be really negative on block, and you'll be punished, or they'll just jump, because here's the deal. Sweep, in terms of recovery frames, it's like throwing a sonic boom, right? Your opponent is super incentivized to jump on you just because you play Guile. People are going to jump on you all the time. So it's so common to throw out a sweep in the neutral because it feels good to like attack, but it's just another way for your opponent to get a clean jump in on you. So just be aware of that. Like, people want to be constantly jumping on you because you're Guile. Yeah, we're gonna be finding more ways for you to attack other than sweep, because sweep can invite a lot of problems. But don't be hard on yourself about that. It's just something that's gonna improve over time. And because you're new to the stream as well, you're going to be tuning in more often. You're going to be seeing what I do in these situations, and you're going to know that there's a lot better things that you can be doing than sweeping to get a lot of control over the match. I'm just detailing the risk reward of everything that you're doing right now. I'm not calling any of these situations bad, bad decisions or anything. I'm just letting you know what the risk rewards are. So don't you worry. By the way, is the HS for Hearthstone? Are you a Hearthstone player? Because that's a pretty dope game. Alright. Wee-woo. Nice. I like the down backing. Damn, this guy actually has like consistent anti-airs for being super bronze. You notice how he's just waiting for you to jump? See, okay, we got some booms now. So just know that booms are awesome. What booms do is that they give you an undeniable advantage in the mid-range, because she can't contest with most of her normals against booms. She does have her roundhouse, the split kick roundhouse. It does go over booms, but she has to do that preemptively. It's something she's taking a guess with. But other than that, booms are pretty undeniably like godlike in the mid-range, right? Because you can't, the number one way you contest it is with things that either go through projectiles or you have to commit to jumping. She's fine committing to jumping, right? She didn't get there in time though, so you could have stand blocked that. Oh, you're once a Hearthstone pro gamer, dude. That's super awesome. That's super awesome, dude. Alright, so what I'm saying is that I'm really happy that you started throwing these booms, but just know that every boom you throw incentivizes them to jump. So you should have held off. I'm not saying you should have. There's no way for us to know that she's actually going to jump right there. But just know that you are incentivizing her to jump at this point in time. You could have blocked it, by the way. So she didn't time it perfectly. Oh my god, the Zabuki. Zabuki right now. So, shy away from jumping so much. Here's the deal about jumping in Street Fighter. If you are jumping on an opponent that doesn't have either a fireball or really like long range normals that have a lot of recovery frames on them, you have almost no reason to jump. You're just inviting being anti-aired. You're relying on your opponent making a mistake, right? If you like Blizzard games, you're probably familiar with StarCraft to some extent. A lot of what they say in StarCraft is don't rely on your opponent making mistakes. Like, you can just play that ground game and throw those booms like you did before, man. Here we go. Very nice. Oh my, that was kind of godlike there. Boom into roundhouse, into launcher kick. That was so sick. Okay, so this is just matchup stuff against Ibuki. What Ibukis love to do is they love to do this BS where they command dash through you. Be ready, like, just saying be ready for it is really cheap for me to say, but what I'm saying is when you get good enough to know that they're likely to do it and that mentally you're ready to react to it, jab, jab, flash kick. Jab, jab, flash kick. It's the best. Ibuki will cross through you, will have recovery frames after she crosses through you, jab, jab, flash kick, and it will be your advantage. The fact that she's going for all those command dashes, that will be your advantage. See, she's loving it. She's loving doing all that stuff. And by the way, most of your combos are just hit confirming either flash kick or sonic boom. That's most of your combos. So I'm seeing a lot of jab, jab into sweep. Maybe those are misinputted flash kicks. Maybe not. But just know that most of your combos are jab, jab, flash kick, jab, jab, sweep, medium punch, boom, medium punch, flash kick. No, I'm sorry, I said jab, jab, sweep. Let me rewind. We're starting over. Most of your combos are jab, jab, flash kick, and jab, jab, boom. When you get things like clean jump-ins or trigger activations, that's when your combos get more complicated. But for now, the most important combos you have right now are jab, jab, flash kick, and jab, jab, boom. Yes, boom. And now, be ready for the jump, because look, you're messing her up in the mid-range. You have taken your advantage in the mid-range. She is primed and ready to jump at this point, right? Just notice that mind game is present. The more successfully you sonic boom, the more likely she is to jump on you, because she's going to try to punish you for booming. That was a godlike throw. Godlike throw. That's a flash kick. We know it was a flash kick. You probably went for it. We're not going to be hard on ourselves over that. That was probably a boom. Don't worry about it. Eventually, you'll understand more frame data, character-specific stuff, but this target combo is negative on block, what she did right there, that little double hit. Boom, pop, pop. You're not going to get a guaranteed punish for her doing that, but she is negative on block, so you do get the jab afterwards. And that's something you'll get better at over time. Oh! Very nice. So, this is something that I tell a lot of people. Find a better reason to activate trigger than just popping it in the neutral. You like to sweep a lot. That's totally cool. You can lay a sweep on her and pop trigger as you throw the sweep out. If it hits her, you pop trigger and now you're in trigger. Yay! It's just like what you pulled off here. But if they block it, you pop trigger and now your sweep is safe on block. It's all good. We're gonna find better things for you to do than sweep. Look out, it's coming back! Good job. So I would say, I mean, it's a very new trigger and you're new to Guile, so that's totally cool. Find, I'm gonna say, it's a lot more useful to anti-air your opponent with V-trigger flash kicks than to get this boom out here. Because yeah, what the V-trigger does is your flash kicks do throw this projectile, but there's not a ton of difference than just throwing a sonic boom. But if you flash kick your opponent as an anti-air, you get to EX flash kick afterwards because of that boom. The boom throws him back into the air, so you can EX flash kick, and you get a buttload of damage off of it. So just know that that's the #1 use of the trigger. But there's a lot of different ways to use it. And now that she's taken a bunch of chip, she'll actually die if you land a Crouch Fierce now. So really try to get the anti-air. See, boom. She's jumping because you're booming. She didn't do a jumping attack though, which is strange. Get him! Yeah, good job. We got a third round. Very nice. Very, very nice. Alright, final round. I'm gonna try to pause less. Sweep worked out. Very nice meaty throw. It's like you're getting more comfortable as time goes on. Flash kick, that's okay. I saw you went for it. That's not a thing. Yeah. Oh, you blocked it standing. I didn't know it wasn't a low hit. That's interesting. Alright, yeah, you got chewed up. Totally cool. Anti-airs. Ibuki is going to be jumping on you all the time. Also, higher ranked Ibukis are going to be using their jump kunais, the jump throw kunais, to get in on you. I would suggest really holding onto your charge a bit more. I like the booms that we saw earlier, but just know that the more booms that you're going to throw, it incentivizes your opponent to jump. So the more successfully you are throwing sonic booms and keeping your opponent away, the more likely they are to start jumping at you. Crouching Fierce, anti-airs directly above your head. Standing neutral medium kick. It's a little donkey kick, little backwards kick. That will anti-air further away from you. So when they jump from further away, donkey kick is good. When they jump closer, Crouching Fierce is going to be your go-to anti-air. When you fight an Ibuki that throws air kunais a lot, EX Flash Kick is going to be your ~1 way to deal with that. Yeah, no need for talk. Don't worry about it, dude. No worries, man. I'm glad it's helpful. So this will be... Boom! Let's get in here. Alright, EazyE. Have a good study time. I'll see you next time, dude. Brass Babe, shit on my chest is Dankadias. If you're still around. Alrighty. Izanami. OscarMike. What do we got? No booms? I dig it. Alright, so this is just something I'm going to throw out right there. It has nothing to do with what's currently happening in the round. But what makes this matchup really tricky for Guile, it's not a bad matchup, but it's different. Nash, if you throw a boom and Nash isn't currently doing something, Nash absorbs it and gets a huge chunk of free V meter, right? It basically means that Guile can only throw booms when there's either the read or the visual confirmation that Nash is up to something else, right? Let's just keep that in mind as we watch. This is a matchup that Guile cannot throw as many booms as he wishes he could. Like, so here, this boom is totally fine. It's at a spacing that is really difficult to react with the absorb move. Totally fine. I call this a footsie boom because you're using it like a fierce attack because you're kind of close to your opponent. I would say that OscarMike, you're already jumping a lot more than you have to. Because here's the thing, like, what am I trying to say? Even though you can't throw a ton of booms, don't be scared to rely mostly on your footsie mid-range. The reason that we can't throw booms actually incentivizes us to rely more on our footsie game. Because if we're not playing footsies... Oh, that was a godlike counter hit, medium. Good flash kick. It's an anti-air flash kick, so we can dash up. Ugh, that was such a solid counter hit. I would have loved to see a crouch strong flash kick. You know that. Because jab doesn't really do anything for us after that. Unfortunately. I said this before. If you ever accidentally land crouch fierce, throw them. For whatever reason, I've never been teched after that happens. The booms that you're throwing are very good booms. They are not booms that are easy for Nash to react to with the absorb. You're making good choices on the booms right now. EX is okay. He can still absorb it to get meter, but he will get hit. I would just say hold on to that meter, because here's the deal. Nash gets to throw booms, right? He kind of gets to. You can save your meter to contest that a little better, because Nash has a ton of startup on his boom. A ton of startup is on Nash's boom, right? So you can see him pull his arm back, you throw your EX boom, and he's lights out, right? He's the one who gets knocked down in that situation. So this is the kind of boom that gets absorbed all the time, but he was currently doing something else, right? So it's not a big deal. So when Nash kind of gets patient and kind of sits here, if he doesn't have V-trigger, both V-triggers, if he has neither V-trigger, if he doesn't have the V-meter for it, you can set up a V-skill, right? Because he can't absorb a V-skill if you're following it, right? He can't safely absorb a boom if you're following it, right? So it's kind of okay to be throwing booms like super duper full screen like this, but just know that you're not going to play keep away with Nash. You can't play keep away with the booms because that's when he can absorb them. Just catching up with chat. Word. Alright. So instead of so EX V skill, totally a legitimate choice, because if he threw a boom, he'd get double hit, which is good damage. Which he wow, he actually did get hit, so you found your way in. That's totally cool. I just do want to emphasize that meter management is pretty important in this match, so that you can contest him in the fireball game with your EX booms. But you're doing really well right now. Very nice. Something that V-skill is really useful for, if your opponent does not have trigger, is you can, if they throw a boom, you can just V-skill to cancel out with the boom and still have your back charge. So that was a boom that absolutely he could have absorbed. That's what we want to be avoiding in this match. So look, I'm talking a lot about meter management right now. Look at the frickin' life totals. It's because you're doing just fine in the neutral. You're handling the neutral really, really well, which is why there's no overwhelming advantage on either side. You're not making glaring errors, right? So that's why I'm talking a lot about nitpicky meter management stuff. It's because you're actually doing really well. This is another one that he can absorb. Even though you're following it, you're the best that you could have gotten was a forward fierce right there. And it is of my opinion, maybe not others, it is of my opinion that if you're a Nash player and you absorb a boom and you traded life with a forward fierce, you came out on top. Getting that trigger is so important in this matchup. But see this boom? This boom that you follow right here? You absolutely could have been up inside that boom, and there would be no way for Nash to stop you. He couldn't absorb it because you'd get something like a stand fierce, crouching strong flash kick punish. You get something godlike off of it. So if you can get that kind of boom that you can follow, that is totally a good boom. That's one that he can absorb. Save your meter because you can EX boom his boom on reaction from really far away. So that's one reason. That's one good reason to save your meter. Oh my god, so close. You're so close to making this happen. Sobot, Sobot, Sobot. Oh, you did it. You did it. Good job. Get out of there.
Time over.
You still won, right? Okay, yeah, I was gonna say that flash kick, man.
Round two.
Well, if you want to, so I'm assuming you were trying to timer scam him by flash kicking as the timer ran out. If you want to do that, a really funny way to do it is to have your V-Trigger 2 activated and EX flash kick, because you're invincible for a day and a half, right? That's when you can really time them out. Yeah, Kila Whale. I'm waiting for Fei Long too. I can't wait until that character comes out. Sweep. Let's do better about sweep for sweep. Nash's sweep does have a lot of range, so you're not always in range of your own sweep, but I think you were right there. See? Look how much V-meter he gets. Almost more than half of a bar. That is so much. Boom. Oh, wait, no. Oh, a little less than half. Oh, he already had some V meter. That, I got you. So like a third. You get like a third of a bar, kind of. That's a lot, in my opinion. Especially if you eat the forward fierce for absorbing, it just gives you more V meter anyways. So I feel like you just sprint towards having your trigger. It's really hard to anti-air the air sights without flash kick. That's why I like to hold on to my down charge a lot in this matchup. Uh-oh.
I suggest you stay down.
Dude, Makoto in Street Fighter V would wreck shop. She'd be so good in SF5, like tier-wise. So this is another illustration. We can't be throwing booms if Nash isn't up to something else, because that's free V meter. And here's the deal. It sounds like you kind of have your hands tied behind your back if you're not booming, but in reality, if you're not booming, he's not absorbing. And if he's booming, you get to boom. If he's dashing up at you, you get to play footsies. It's just make your decisions based on what he wants, and you won't feel like you got your hands tied behind your back so much. Because if he's not booming and you're not booming, you get to walk forward, you get to play footsies with him. But it's definitely a more complicated matchup than you would initially think, because you think it's going to be this all-out fireball war. But it's not. It's mostly a footsie-based battle. You're just getting surprised in the neutral a lot. You're getting surprised by the air moonsaults when you don't have down charge. You're getting surprised by dash ups. There's another one right there. Boom. You're not making glaring errors. I think you just need to be a little more comfortable with how you're gonna play the neutral. You're gonna end up blocking a lot. You're gonna end up blocking a lot of different stuff because you can't really throw booms the way you can in other matchups. Oh, did I rewind? Boom, boom, boom. So even though it seems like you're getting bodied, which life total wise you are, it really just has a lot to do with just like how comfortable you are in the mid-range. Because you're just getting surprised by a lot of stuff. Every time he dashes in and gets damage off of it, that's damage that could have been yours if you had reacted to the dash forward.
Round one. Fight.
Yeah, Kila Whale, I think we're gonna have time. I think we're gonna have time for your stuff too. Happy to do it. So these are jumps that, boom, that could be some damage for you if you still had your down charge. Boom, that's a flash kick that could have been yours. That's you know, I mean he's whomping on you, you know? So it's hard to be ready for all these things because you're worried about 10 things right now. This is a bazooka knee under if you're ready for it. Boom. This is a bazooka knee under. Well, the previous one was a flash kick. This one is a bazooka knee under if you're ready for it. That is crouching strong flash kick right there because that scythe was deep. Flash kick. Crouching fierce can work. It's hard to make it happen. Flash kick is what's going to be consistent. There's another cross-up attempt. I prefer to bazooka knee under until he starts doing it a lot. Then jump back air throw is really nice. Very nice. That's a freebie. Oh, and he didn't take it. What's wrong with this guy? That's a flash. That's a cross. That's a bazooka knee. So just know, this dude, even though he's whomping on you, he has habits. This dude is, when he's close to you, he is always setting up that cross up. When he's a little further away from you, he's either jumping or doing the air scythes on you. If he's not doing that, he's dashing on you. Everything that he's doing to you has risks involved. That if you're reacting to it, this is, okay, you blocked appropriately. That if you're reacting to it, it's a lot of free damage for you. There's more free damage for you. Dash up, that shouldn't happen. Dash up. That's another thing to be challenged. So he's womping on you because of lack of anti-airs and checking the dashes. That's a lot of it. I mean, and it sounds like you're miles behind this guy, right? Where I'm like, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. Not so. If you just play a little more reactionary, stop the dashes and the jumps, everything that he's doing right now is free damage on your part. You'd be bodying this dude, honestly, because his grounded neutral game is not like crazy strong or anything. Very nice. Flash, yeah, very nice. You were on top of that. Oh, very good. The walk down pressure is really solid on your part right here. This is really nice. Oh, that was unfortunate. Right when you see that Sonic Scythe, just hunker down and, you know, crouch block. Right when that second Scythe comes up, take a step forward, stand for your slow, strong flash kick. Or trigger combos. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, Slippo, thanks for the follow, dude. I didn't see that notification. Yeah, dude. Jump in. Jump in. Jump in. These are all opportunities for you to get damage rather than him. There's another one. There's another cross-up attempt. It's all anti-airs at this point. This guy is not playing high-level neutral with you. There's a chance that you're just overthinking the whole matchup because, you know, you watch my stream, you know, I'm telling you, oh, this is how neutral is supposed to be played, and this is how you do these godlike things. You don't need to be godlike to stop what this guy is doing. Holding onto your charge will deal with the moon scythes. Crouch fiercing the normal jump-ins will get him off of you. Bazooka kneeing under will stop all these cross-up attempts. Most of what he's doing to you are cross-up attempts, right? And honestly, if I was fighting this Nash and he was doing those cross-up attempts as back-to-back as he is, I'd be getting jump-back air throw a lot. Because he's not being that subtle with it. You just got to be reacting. Yeah, he's very fast. So here's the deal, Oscar. He feels really fast, first of all, because he is. Visually, it's all very fast. But if you're worried about a bunch of different things, reacting to specific things gets really difficult. Hunker down, down back, be ready to be thrown, be okay with being thrown, and wait for the jump itself. Because here's the deal, if you're hunkering down back, you're only having to worry about the throw and the overhead, right? There's nothing else you have to worry about. When he jumps or dashes, you have control over that. And yes, it's fast, but he's relying on it so heavily that if you get good at that, this dude has no chance against you. That's all I'm trying to say. And that's how I'm going to sum that up. All right, this. Boom, locally recording. This will be on YouTube later. Let's flash that. Boom, youtube.com/blah. We're gone. All right, we're in. We're in. Oh, no, wrong scene. Here we go. We're back. YouTube. Let's see what happens. We're going against Endboy. I like the patience so far. Let's check the frame data on that. I think it's -2. That little fist that goes right. Oh, this is like a 40-second clip. Oh, you have something very specific to show me. What are you asking like a specific question? Because you just clipped like one round. Is there a specific situation? Yeah, Rohit, absolutely I can do that, dude. I have a lot to say about the Cammy matchup. What do you need? Kila Whale. Let's just watch the whole clip while you answer that. Maybe it'll be obvious. Boom, boom, very nice. Oh, he's just doing that a lot on you now. Oh, you got scooped up. Boom, boom, boom. All right, what are you asking? I'm getting heavy punch after his moves. Can't even press jab. What's You're getting heavy punch after his moves? What do you mean by that? Like you're pressing jab, but you're getting heavy punches? Like what's the confusion here? Oh, are you just saying, like, you don't have the opportunity to jab because he's frame trapping you?
Round. Fight.
So this, when he does this, he's not plus on block, but he does have the advantage. Sup, Bulry? He gets close with the side switch. Yeah, so that side switch punch, he's negative, but he's not punishable. So he has the opportunity. Oh no, is he negative on that? Yeah, he's negative on that one. I think he's like -2 on this side switch. So he's negative, but he's not punishable. So you jabbing is a very common response because it forces him to do this big, risky, invincible punch that he is doing to bop you, right? Well, his EX isn't 3 frames, it's many frames, but it's invincible. So he's side switching, and then because it's very common for people to press a button because he's -2, he's just going balls out and going for his dragon punch. This is an invincible dragon punch. On block, he's at risk of being crush countered, right? So that's what we want to be doing. So there's a mix-up here. So he keeps charging this up, right? I think he does it like 2 more times. He wanted to do it again right there. There you go. So he's doing it again. He's putting you in a -2 situation, and he's baiting you into this, right? So it's up to you to be... So here, it's a rock, paper, scissors situation, right? If he's DPing a lot, you should be blocking, right? Because you'll block it, and you can get a crush counter, right? You can get the crush. If you're blocking, and he does that, and he gets a neutral throw on you, all he did was got a single neutral throw on you. He can't throw you if you jab, right? Because this is rock, paper, scissors, right? He's -2. So he is the one incentivized to not press anything since he's the one negative. So he's vulnerable to being jabbed, or else he'll be counter hit, or thrown, or else you can throw him out of his jabs. But he's committing to the big... Oh, whoa, we went full screen. He's committing to the big risky punch, right? You know when I do upside down kick with Guile, and they block it, and I'm put into a -2 situation, I sometimes EX flash kick. It's the exact same situation. Yeah, Leo, I mean, there's those meaty situations where you do a meaty jab and the DP will whiff. I totally believe it. So maybe it can happen in this situation. But this is really common. Actually, yeah. I mean, Leo, after the blocked side switch, has your DP whipped through jabs after that? But yeah, so he's the one playing super, super high risk with those DPs. If you hunker down and block, the worst that's going to happen is you're going to get thrown. But what can happen is that you block that dragon punch, you get the crush counter stand fierce, and you get a full combo off of it. This thing right here is plus on block. It's very different. It's plus on block after he gets you, but it hit. But when you see him charging that up, you would just want to jump on him, right? You want to jump on him for doing that. But your main question was about the side switch thing. So that's how you're going to deal with that. Yeah. So yeah, just know he's the one playing super, super high risk in that situation. Boom. Alrighty, this will be on YouTube later. Whoa! Whoa! Poison Ivy. What the hell costume is this? I don't remember that. That's awesome. That's a super cool costume. Oh, she's like Undead Bride. That's pretty cool. Damn, she got shit growing on her. She's been dead for a while. Alright. What do we got? Boom. So how immediate is this boom? It's immediate. Alright, you broke the golden rule. We're not going to be hard on you for it. I'm just letting you know you could have lost the round immediately. That's all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say. So this actually lines up with, you know, Rohit. What's the YouTube link? We're going to flash it. Boop. So Rohit a little earlier was asking about Cammy. So if you're still here, my dude, this is a good time to talk about that. So this was your question. Dude, can you give me advice on how you personally approach Cammy? I'm in a conundrum in whether to zone her or play footsies. I refuse to flash kick anti-air unless I'm sure to. What's scaring you about anti-airing Cammy? Cause is it like when she fakes drop kicks or something? But anyways, we'll watch the replay and then we'll talk about the matchup. So the way and this is tricky to deal with, but when she does this V skill, you can interrupt it with jabs. I like to interrupt it with standing medium punch because you get a nice counter hit and you can hit him from off of it very effectively. Good flash kick. Meaties? Nice. Nice meaty jab. You didn't hit him from off this meaty jab, so I'm wondering what the purpose of the jab was. Because that should have been jab, jab, flash kick, you know, if anything. I like that you're holding onto your down charge a lot. Oh, and that's why V-skill's good in this matchup. So now that she's in V-trigger 1, it's extremely difficult to anti-air her dives. So what I like to do is just block it out, because the worst that can happen is you just get thrown once. So you blocked it. Blocked a V-skill, so you can't press buttons after her V-skill. Her V-skill on block is plus. It has a ton of startup, which is vulnerable, but after you block it, you have to respect that she's plus on block. Yeah, Dr. Octo, yeah, all the guiles should just start. I didn't think it would connect. Yeah. We'll get better at the hit confirming. That's why I like standing medium punch, because you can react to it. But if you're jabbing, you could just press jab twice, because if they block the first jab, there's no gap on block between your first and second jab. It's a true block string. They can't dragon punch. So you can just press jab twice in that meaty situation, and if the first jab hits, you'll see it by the time the second jab hits, like reaction-wise, and then you'll know to flash kick. Let's find a better reason to pop trigger other than just to do it in the mid-range. Oh, get him! Got him. Very nice. Yeah, Dr. Octo, I bet you did, dude. It happens all the time. You jump in once and you just kill him. So we committed to another boom right at the start. Be careful about that. Absolutely it can work out, but the risk is so great. Wow, bold-faced. Very nice reaction. So, medium kick will anti-air it just as effectively without using the meter, because you're frame 1 airborne invincible. So, while she's in trigger, you gotta be really careful about anti-airing. I tend to just let her dive. I really don't even try to anti-air her when she's in V-trigger 1. In referring to the dive. If she's doing normal jump-ins, it's different. Okay, so she's in, she crossed you up, she threw you back into the corner. She threw you again. That happens. This is unfortunate. So she throws you twice, boom. And what happens now is that all she did was jump, and she got you to tech. It's hard for me to like explain, oh, this is exactly what you should have done, because even though there's no airtight throw loops in this situation, she can still approach you and try to get you to tech a throw. When you tech in Season 3 after being thrown, you have more control over the matchup if you actually react to her walking forward to make that decision whether or not you should tech. Because it's very visually clear that you made the decision to tech without reacting. So you made the decision to tech as if there's throw loops in the game. Does that make sense? So instead of just teching because you think you're going to be thrown, take something visual to react to. What's this? Why did she get that? Oh, because it was back throw. Back throw is different. But this is a forward throw, right? So she ended up further away. Take her walking forward as the visual cue for you to decide whether or not to tech, so that you don't tech willy-nilly and get jumped in on like that. Doesn't popping give him full control of the sky? I know he loses out on a confirm. Popping what? Doesn't popping give him full control of the sky? I know he loses out on a confirm or plus frames. Are you talking about Cammy or Guile in that situation? But yeah, trying to anti-air her trigger dive has cost you a lot of games. It's cost me games too. And if you just feel it and you have a real anticipation of when she's gonna do it, you can flash kick in time. But if you don't have that read, I just block it out. You don't have that much to lose. The worst that happens is that you get thrown, because you shouldn't press buttons after blocking her V-trigger air dive. You just shouldn't. So here we go. We had an air-to-air situation. Boom. Got crossed under. She's walking you down. So a lot of what's happening here, I'm assuming that was the end of the game. A lot of what's happening here is just the neutral going awry and you getting mixed up to death. So we're gonna go back to round one. I'm gonna try to only pause when the neutral is broken. What I will say is the way that I approach this matchup is that when Cammy has meter, the further away she is from you, the easier it is for her to EX cannon drill to go under a boom and break the neutral, right? Without that meter, she's either relying on jumping or her V skill that goes through booms, right? So when she doesn't have meter, you can kind of play a zoning game where you're keeping her away, like a traditional matchup where they're a character that can't deal with boom very well. Once she has meter, you need to keep her a little closer to you. You need to keep her at that range. It's like I play a kind of boom heavy play style in this matchup because it's extremely difficult to go toe to toe with her in the neutral game footsies wise with your normals. Your normals have a really hard time dealing with her normals, but her normals have a really hard time dealing with your sonic boom, right? Because they don't go through projectiles, right? So you need to keep her a little close. I'm not. What's happening on screen right now is not super important, but what I'm saying is you can't full screen zone keep her away, because when she has meter, the further away she is, the easier it is to cannon drill through a boom. So you need to keep her a little closer than that. You need to keep her at a range where it's really hard for her to react to booms with her EX drill. So you're keeping her at a footsie range. If you're just outside of like her crouching fierce range, her big reaching punch, that's a pretty decent range to be throwing booms. And you're establishing a mind game of, I am throwing a lot of booms, and if you want to deal with it, you need to deal with it preemptively, because you're doing it at a space that's really hard for her to, on reaction, drill through. She also needs to preemptively V-skill if she wants to be going through her booms. And the V-skill is very vulnerable on startup. So you're playing a boom-heavy play style to force her to make riskier decisions. The boom itself that you're throwing is a risky decision in itself, but it puts her in a mind game where she can't rely on her normals so much. She needs to rely on jumping, V-skill, and cannon dive, which is also like jumping. So, here, let me just catch up with chat for a little bit. Okay, we'll talk more about that other stuff in a bit. But the way that I approach it is boom heavy, so that I'm not fighting against her normals. I'm fighting against her decision on whether or not to jump. Because Guile's flash kick anti-airs her cannon dives better than any anti-air in the game, honestly. I mean, maybe there's an exception to that. But honestly, flash kick is the fastest anti-air in the game. Fastest invincible anti-air in the game, right? Because we're not doing forward, down, down, forward. We're just going, the joystick for us is just going down to up, and that's it, right? So, one of Rohit's questions, Rohit, I forget how to say your name, earlier was, do you zone her out? Do you approach her with your normals for a footsie game? It's footsie based. The spacing that you decide to play the game at is footsie based, where she's kind of near you, but you're not doing it to mess her up with your normals. You're doing it to focus on booms, right? It's to get her to focus her game around jumping and V-skilling, right? We can't zone her completely, so we have to play kind of a high-risk style. Even though we're playing a high-risk style, that kind of sounds like we're disadvantaged, and we're really not. This is a very even matchup, because when Cammy has to rely on jumping and V-skilling, the damage potential that Guile has on his part goes way up. Flash kicking dives is a huge source of damage. Counter hitting V-skills during their startup, because here's the thing, her V-skill will go through a boom and travel to you, but it has to get to you, then it has to start up. So it's an extremely telegraphed move. It's like she's doing a really slow dash, then using standing medium punch. So we know if we're ready for it and we see her dashing over, we know when to counter hit her because it's telegraphed, right? That's where the big damage comes out for us. So there's a V skill we could have counter hit. Counter hit strong, boom, flash kick. Flash kick, which did work right there. Here's a meaty timing that could have worked out for more damage. And I'm not saying we don't use normals. We absolutely use normals. But we want an emphasis on sonic booms so that she emphasizes on jumping and V-skilling. We want to use her greatest strength against her. The hardest way to fight Cammy is when we allow her to walk and lay a bunch of normals on us. That is the hardest way to contest against Cammy. And we do have to play that too, because when Cammy's in on us like this, it's not like we can throw booms. We do have to fight at the ranges we don't want to fight at sometimes. But when we are at our preferred space, for me personally, it tends to be not full screen zoning, just outside of the range of our crouching fierce, and we do tend to be focusing on booms. Like that right there, right? And there, boom, see how she drilled? She was trying to preemptively deal with a boom right there. She can do it on reaction. Boom. That's a really common place to throw a boom, and if you did, boom, the neutral would be over. So Rohit, if you're using medium kick, flash kick, and you get counter hit somehow, it was likely an input error, and something other than medium kick, flash kick came out. Hey, Sultan of Swing, thanks for the follow, dude. It's a great song. We are the Sultans. What about Cammys who try to crush counter the startup of your booms with heavy kick? I would say that if she's within range of her heavy kick, she's probably a little too close to you for your ideal spacing. Because what I say is a pretty ideal spacing is just outside of the range of her crouching fierce, which has more range than the roundhouse. So I think your preferred space is to not be in that range. Yes, you can crush her V-skill. So Rohit made a good point. You can crush her V-skill with crouching fierce. It just has, crouching fierce has more startup, so it's trickier and it's a little harder to react with, but absolutely, that's how Knuckle-Doo does it. He crushes with the crouching fierce. So yeah, Rohit, that's another good point. I don't want to say that. Akenu told you that it's better to play neutral with her zoning. With her. Zoning will get you killed. What I think he means is that trying to play keep away with booms will get you killed, because the further away she is from you, the more able she is to EX drill or pop trigger and drill through, right? So you want her to be kind of closer to you. And then what I'm saying is that be a little boom heavy so that she can't rely on her normal so much. So that she has to rely on less safe special moves. So a lot of the damage that she's getting on you is having trouble reacting to her V-skill. Once you block the V-skill, you're pressing buttons afterwards, which she's getting counter hit combos onto you for. See, that's the worst that can happen when you block a V-trigger dive. V-trigger dive, boom, you got thrown. That's the worst that can happen, and it's not that bad of a situation. Do not get counter hit after you block a V-trigger boom. Or, sorry, a V-trigger dive. Yeah.
Final round. Fight.
But yeah, if you stick around for ranked matches, I'm sure we're gonna fight a Cammy, and we can go in depth on how that works out. Nice. See, full screen zoning. Neutral gets broken. You got a little lucky with her trading with the cross. Actually, it's quite common for the EX drill to trade with the cross, but I think if she had reacted either faster or was closer to you, she gets that clean. Yeah, all the damage that she's getting on you is mix-ups. You actually handled the neutral quite well. But when it's the, you know, if Cammy gets in once or twice, it could be the end of the round, right? So we're just talking about how the neutral could have gone a bit better, and I think I threw good information at you because it's a tricky matchup. It's a volatile frickin' matchup because we're playing boom heavy. We can't zone her full screen, and Cammy's pressure game is so good. But I do really feel like that matchup is even. All right, I hope that's helpful. I hope we match up against a Cammy later so we can go a little more in depth with that. But yeah, thank you for sending in that replay. And JPB, thank you.